Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to OEMC. I'm Rich Gaitis, Executive Director of the Chicago Office of Emergency Management and Communications. Yesterday, the National Weather Service issued a winter storm warning in effect today at 3 p.m. through Sunday at 6 p.m. This includes snow accumulation of 5 to 9 inches and is expected to begin after 4 p.m. Snowfall will be at its heaviest between 8 p.m. and 10. Residents can expect blowing snow and high winds with expected gusts of 35 miles an hour. We urge residents to take precautions, plan accordingly, and allow extra time while driving. Travel could be very difficult due to very low visibilities and snow-packed roads. We're also working closely with our utility agencies in case of any power outages. If you must travel, keep a flashlight, snacks, and water in your vehicle in case of any emergency. Also, while driving, keep plenty of distance between you and the vehicles in front of you. Additionally, there's a lakeshore flood advisory in effect for today through 3 a.m. on Monday, February 1st. This presents the possibility for minor to moderate flooding along the lakefront and includes parks, trails, parking lots, other low-lying areas along the immediate lakeshore and portions of the bike path. We want to ensure that residents and businesses take precautions in order to be prepared for high winds and possible rising water levels along the lakeshore. OEMC is closely monitoring weather conditions with the National Weather Service and coordinating response efforts with the city's public safety and infrastructure departments, as well as public partners to keep residents safe and informed. City of Chicago's top priority is public safety. We would like to encourage residents to provide any needed assistance to neighbors, family members, pets, and the most vulnerable, particularly those who are elderly or have disabilities. Staying connected is key to being safe. If you need to request a well-being check or information on available warning centers and other services, you can call 311. Go to 311.chicago.gov or use the 311 mobile app. We'd also like to remind residents and businesses to shovel and salt the areas in front of their homes or place of business. With the heavy, wet snow predicted, it's important to keep in mind that snow shoveling can take time and some may experience injuries. Please take it slow, dress warmly, and again, provide assistance to neighbors, family, and seniors. It is imperative to keep informed of weather conditions and stay connected with family and friends. I'd like to thank Mayor Lightfoot and all the city departments, agencies, and organizations who come together to keep Chicago safe, not only during the winter season, but all year round. And now I'd like to introduce Commissioner John Tully with the Department of Streets and Sanitation. Commissioner.
Thanks, Rich. Good morning. I'm John Tully, Commissioner of the Department of Streets and Sanitation. I'd like to thank the Office of Emergency Management and Mayor Lightfoot and all the other city agencies that coordinate and help us out during the systems that, like the one we're expecting today. At Streets and Sanitation, safety is our top priority during these types of storms, and rest assured we're well prepared for it. Streets and Sanitation, full fleet of more than 300 spreaders and salt and plows is prepared to respond to the snow that we're going to receive. And we have 360,000 tons of salt on piles throughout the city. We work with our partners here at OEMC to monitor before and during storms, using the radar, cameras, and road sensors to adjust to any hazardous conditions. Please check the department's social media accounts for deployment and updates and visit www.chicagoshovels.org to view our fleet in real time during storms. I'd like to remind all residents that we'll be cleaning the main streets to allow for emergency vehicles, buses, pedestrians, and people traveling throughout the city before we move to the residential streets. That is our top priority. What happened earlier in the week is going to be a lot like today. Last week, earlier in the week, we did have snow moving from the lake. We had moved to the residential streets, and we had to go out back out to the main thoroughfares. So that's a possibility when we had this lake effect snow. We ask those who need to be on the road travel with caution and adjust their speed based on the road conditions. Last but certainly not least, I want to thank Streets and Sanitation crews, the other city department crews who worked through the night earlier in the week and will do so again tonight to keep Chicago moving and safe. Any question?
Thank you, Commissioner. I'd really just like to emphasize, if you have vehicles that are parked along the lakefront, immediately adjacent to the lake itself, I want to caution everybody, keep an eye on your vehicles. If you can move it away from those locations, put yourself in a better position on Monday. Lake levels, as everybody knows, is up around 3 feet higher than the norm, and you could plan on getting impacted along the lakefront. Any questions?
Hi, we have some questions from ABC 7. Can you please share with us what plan you have in place to prepare for the impending winter storm?
Yeah, so as just discussed, we have staffing, we have the proper staffing set up through all our agencies. Our operations center is going to be monitoring it closely, and Street and Sanitation is well prepared to take on the storm and escalate any additional resources as needed.
In what particular areas will you be monitoring more closely once the snow arrives?
All 240 miles of Chicago, obviously the lakefront, Lakeshore Drive in particular, just because of its proximity to the lake itself, will get a lot of attention. That's something we'll be keeping an eye on very closely.
Also, how many city plow units will be deployed? Where and how long will they be out there?
Commissioner?
I'm going to ask Deputy Cole Stoller to handle this question.
Out of the gate, we're going to have 287 trucks out. We're going to bring them in at 2 o'clock this afternoon, anticipating the snow to get a little heavier between 4 and 5 o'clock and run overnight. We'll keep that number up throughout this program, and we'll bring it up to the 315 probably tomorrow morning.
And I have two more for the Executive Director. What's your message to residents, especially those who have no choice but to drive to work or for the justice?
Yeah, just take it slow, make sure that you have enough space between the vehicle that's in front of you. We've all picked up some different driving habits over the last 14 months. Just realize there's probably going to be additional traffic on the street, and just be cognizant of the plows that are out there pushing the snow out of the way to make life easier for us working towards Monday morning.
And finally, who should people call if they need assistance or a well-being request for a senior?
If there's an emergency, we always want you to call 911. Otherwise, you can call 311 for well-being checks.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Thank you, everybody. I guess we can jump off this one.